I think it's really important that the people who are in love with or care about trans individuals should be able to hold our hands without persecution, without being teased from within the community and outside of the community. Hi, I'm Peppermint, and I'm talking all things Pride with Attitude Magazine. My first Pride experience was in Wilmington, Delaware. Uh, well, I'll call it my first official Pride experience was in Wilmington, Delaware, where I grew up and went to high school. And I was very excited. I got dressed in the same drag outfit that I had been wearing for over a year because I only had one. And we walked down to the town square, and there were no floats. It was probably about 30 people wearing rainbow stickers and pins, and then we all kind of moseyed down the street. And that was my first Pride. I would say my favorite Pride memory, first time I ever walked in the parade and was an actual participant in the New York City Pride Parade. Notoriously, New York City Pride Parade always takes place on Pride Sunday, which is the last Sunday in June, to commemorate the Stonewall Rebellion, which happened on a Sunday. And I worked at a infamous nightclub called The Tunnel with a whole bunch of other drag queens on Saturday night until 4 or 5 in the morning. And that night, we all had Miss Feathers, drag queen, make us matching outfits out of the cheapest rainbow spandex anyone could find. And we had, got our hair up and got everything together. And we thought we were going to be in the parade. And our boss at the club at the time had rented a fabulous, convertible Porsche or some kind of sports car. And we were so excited. We're going to get to ride in the Porsche down the parade. And we get there and all of the go-go boys are in the car and taking up every seat in the parade so they can wave to their fans. And all of the drag entertainers had to walk in our heels down. And this is miles long. A lot of people might not understand how long the parade is in New York City. It is miles and miles and miles long. It's probably like 8 miles, which is not that bad. But in your heels, it's a different story. It feels horrendous. And so by the time we got to the Fifth Avenue turn, we were hobbled, honey, looking like zombies coming down the street. And but then we got into that little alleyway over on Christopher Street, and all of a sudden, all of the energy just kind of brought us back to life again, which was wonderful. And so that was one of my favorite times. Miss Maybelline, who was wearing a matching outfit. She was so inspired. She completely went stark naked, took off every ounce of clothing, and she had her pubic hair dyed to match the fabric. And we were like, oh my God, girl. And so that was a favorite moment in time for me. My main connection to Pride is an opportunity to actually celebrate, speak about, learn about, and it's more about the actions during that time. My connection to the community and my transness and my womanness, I had to sort of piecemeal through. And so I cobbled together from all the love and support, which is certainly the spirit of Pride, from all of the people around me. And that empowered me, enabled me to go to my first parade, to go to my first march, and to go, participate in all these fabulous things. I guess my last message to anybody in the queer community is please make space for the trans folks around you and in our community, not only for the individuals, but for the people that they love and the people who love them, their romantic partners. We have an epidemic in the States and around the world of Black trans women and trans women of color being murdered at an alarming rate. And many of those murders, although under investigated, are at the hands of our romantic partners. And so I think it's really important that the people who are in love with or care about trans individuals should be able to hold our hands without persecution, without being teased from within the community and outside of the community. Believe it or not, it happens on all ends. And so that's my message to folks in the community and to people outside of the community. Please, please, please don't assume that the person near you isn't queer or gay or lesbian or bi or pansexual or non-binary. Please just try to have less assumptions about the people we encounter, because you already have connected with someone who's queer, but you just don't know it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of Attitude's Pride at Home and have a wonderful, splendid Pride.